In today's lesson, we're going to be talking about the cookbook. Now, the cookbook is meant to be a design challenge to you. We are going to create a multi-page setup for a cookbook that is fictionalized. But I am not going to show you how to create all of this. No, I am going to show you how to create this front page. I am going to show you how to create the first spread. But it is going to be your job to take what you have learned from these two things and apply it to creating the additional spreads that you see here. Your job is going to be to create a consistent look throughout all of these different pages while making them look very different from each other. That's the goal. In today's lesson, you're going to see a PDF, a finalized version that looks like this. I would recommend using it as a reference so that you can create what you want to create. And you're also going to find a PDF with all of the text that you need to create this. Right at the top, there are two fonts that I would recommend you having. You likely already have the bottom one, but Modern Love you may not have. Click on that, go to your Adobe fonts, and install that font. Now, the basic breakdown of colors that I use is right here, the document size, the cover text, and all of the information that goes into creating this. It's all right here if you need it. Font sizes, different looks, create what you want to create here. But the real goal is to match up the style of what I have created. So we're going to start off creating a basic document matching this. So let's go into the actual document today. Let's go into InDesign. We're going to hit File, New, Document, and we're going to create a print size document of letter. So click on letter, make sure you have that size. On the right, I would name this document something you can find. I like first initial, last name, underscore, the name of the item, cookbook. I don't like picas. I don't use that as a measurement. Most people don't. I would recommend moving to inches, making sure that you're in that. If you're more comfortable with millimeters, feel free to go to that if that's your comfort zone. Under pages, we're going to create 3 pages together, but you will create up to 7 pages total. So if you want to go ahead and hit 7, that's fine. Where it says facing pages, make sure that is checked. Moving down. The front page is not in a multi-column setup, but the additional spreads are. So I recommend having 2 columns set up. Leave the gutter like it is. As far as margins, 0.5 inches is where I like my margins. And the bleed, I want to bump that up to 0.25. That makes sure none of my material gets cut at the edge, leaving a little white strip or cutting off anything important. If you've got what I've got, hit create, and you are going to create your main document here. Now with your document, over in your pages panel, you'll see the front cover and you'll see the first spread set up here. That's what I want. If you need additional pages as we build, the plus button down here at the bottom right will give you the additional pages you need. Now my goal is that you create a 7-page spread at a minimum. However, in the folder today, you will find a folder called Additional Images. And in the additional images, you could create 2 more spreads than what we have here. There's images of pies and cupcakes in there galore for you to create what you want to create. To find recipes and instructions, use AI just to give yourself a basic understanding of what needs to be there. AI will tell you exactly what the ingredients and the instructions are if that's what you want to do. So feel free to make additional spreads on top of the ones that I make. Now we're going to start with the front cover today. Our goal is to create a very established, clean looking front cover. If I go look at the front cover that we're looking to make, I can see that I have 1 big hero image in the back. Really, it's 2. I have a logo at the top, my Modern Love font right here, and the name of the author on a right aligned piece of text. At the bottom, I have some different text laid out, and I have this little shape down at the bottom. We're going to create all of that real quick. So back in InDesign, let's start with the main image. I'm going to create 1 big frame going across this entire document, bleed line to bleed line. Command D or File Place. In the regular images file, you'll find all the images you need to recreate what I have here. What we're looking for is the image called cover image. We're going to hit open and place that in. If it looks pixelated, hit view at the top, display performance, go to high quality, it'll look a little bit better. Remember, Shift, Option, Command C, or Object, Fitting, Fill Frame Proportionately will fit that image into that frame. Good. Now I actually want a second image on top of this. We can blend images inside of InDesign similar to how we do Photoshop. So I'm going to place another image directly on top of this, placing another frame in that same location, Command D or File Place. I'm looking for the fire image. I'm going to hit open. Shift Option Command C will kind of shrink that down a little bit. You may need to move that image up a little bit, and you'll see why. So I'm actually going to leave a little bit of the bottom area exposed. That's going to be okay. Now, with this image selected, I want to create a blending mode so that it blends onto the image below it. In my properties panel, I can find where it says the word opacity right here. Opacity means how well can I see through a thing. If you grab this and drag this around, you'll notice you see the chef coming through in this scenario, but I wanted it full opacity. I just want to click on the word opacity so I get the opacity panel. Right here, I'll see the word normal. I want to change that. I want to go to an overlay. Now with overlay selected here, you can see the fire and you can see the guy in the background. Try a couple of different ones and see if you like one better than the others. These are all about experimentation and seeing what you come up with. I prefer overlay in this scenario, so that's what I'm going to use. I may move that fire up just a little bit as we kind of play around with this because we are going to put a shape down towards the bottom. But if you do, make sure you keep the frame aligned to that bleed line. All right, good. Now we're going to create a very basic little swoopy shape right here on this fire. Doesn't have to be anything wild. I'm going to grab my pen tool, P for pen tool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this bleed line right here. And I'm going to click, hold, and drag to kind of create a little bit of a swoopy shape, kind of like that. I'm going to close this shape by going down the bleed line the rest of the way, and I'll hold Shift as I do, and that'll give me that basic shape. And I'll turn that black for the time being. Now you can see the fires kind of coming up above. If we need to shrink this down, we can kind of grab it and scale it a little bit, however we need to. Now the color of this is not black though. We're going to be using a couple of different colors today. The cream color is right here. Your red is this color right here. And your dark gray is down here. What I would recommend doing is going ahead and making your color scheme. So I'm going to grab these colors. I'm going to copy this color of cream color and go back. I'm going to create a rectangle over on the side. I'm going to fill it with a color and no stroke. And I'm going to add that hexadecimal down here at the bottom of my color so that I can just go ahead and get that color. All right, and once I have that cream color, I'm just going to duplicate that color down 3 times so that I get 3 of my colors. And I'll go back and I'll find that next color. So going back, I see the next one's that D22232A. So I'm going to go back and type that in there. And that gets me my red. And then I'm going to grab this bottom one and I'm going to go back and grab my gray color. So looking at that, 181E1E. 181E1E. So I'll go in here and I'll paste that, copy and paste as need be. So I'm going to select these 3 colors and I'm going to go ahead and add them to my swatches. I know I'm going to use these a lot. So I'm going to go into my swatches panel and I'm going to click that little folder at the bottom to add that as a group. I'm going to name that cookbook and I'm going to go on selected page items and hit OK. And you'll see those 3 colors now come in. I can repeat those colors steadily. Good. So instead of black, I'm going to go to that gray color that is the actual document's color. And that's going to give me my base look for how the cover is going to look. Now going back and looking, I see that I have a very large logo up at the top. I have some text in the middle, and some text at the bottom. So I need to make sure that I've got space for all three of those things. I'm going to start with my frame tool, creating a fairly large box up here. Another box that's going to kind of cover this area for my text, and another box down here towards the bottom for this piece of text, making sure that I've got enough room for everything that I need. Good. Selecting on this top frame, Command D or File Place, I'm going to look for the simple logo. Now, one thing you're going to notice right here is that it's going to come in with multiple logos. There's a black one and a white one, and there's an all white one. So I can't just open this and place it because it comes in black, and that's not what I want. So we need to be careful about what we're placing here. So with this frame selected, Command D, click on that simple logo and look for where it says Show Import Options right here. We want to check that option. That's going to give us a choice of which artboard in that Illustrator file we want to use. So hit Open, and I'm going to go to the right one, to page 2. That's this white one. I'm going to hit Open, and that's going to open the logo I want. Shift Option Command C may not work perfectly. Try Shift Option Command E, and that should fit that a little bit better. And we get our nice logo up here. Now, I also want this logo to pop off of the background a little bit. So I'm going to add a little bit of a drop shadow to this. Up at the top, we can see the options for FX, and we can see the option for the drop shadow right here. If you click on that, it will apply the default drop shadow. If you click on FX, you can alter that drop shadow however you want. So if you want it a little bit lighter, not as obvious, a different angle maybe, you can do that. Maybe not as far away, you can do that as well. So I'm going to put the distance at a 0.125 and the opacity at about 50%. That's what I'm looking for. Once I have that, I'll hit OK. And you don't see a whole lot of it, but there is a little bit of a drop shadow that makes that pop forward a little better. Now right here, I'm going to add in my text. I'm going to click on this frame with my type tool, and I'm going to type in the cookbook. I'm going to hit return on my keyboard, and I'm going to say written by Ashlyn Canino. Now make sure you are spelling your author's name right. Nothing will make people madder than that. I'm going to change this text to white so that I can see it very clearly. And I am going to adjust this text. So where it says the cookbook, I want that in white, but the font I want is called Modern Love. So go in and find that font real quick and make sure you have it. Now, once you find this font, I want to realize that this font is supposed to go across the entire frame. So I'm going to stretch my frame up a little bit bigger, and then I'm going to make this font dramatically bigger. And I'm going to put it in all caps. So if I look, it fits across the whole thing at about 74 points in all caps. Good. Now click on it and hit Command A. I want this to be right aligned. You can find that up in your control panel or in your paragraph panel, the right align option. And we want to select the area that says the author's name. So written by Ashlyn Canino. This is in that Deuterman font, so I'm going to type in DEU, and I'm going to find Deuterman variable. The font is a light version, but it is fairly large, so I'm going to stretch that a little past the halfway mark and go to the light option for that font. So I'm at about 26, 27 points, and I think that looks pretty good. Good. Now, the next section, I want to go to my cover text right here. And I'm going to copy this text right here. Now, once I've pasted this text into this location, it's very hard to read because it's black on a dark gray. Make sure to change that to white immediately so you can see it. This is going to be that same Deuterman font, so go find that. And we're going to pump this up pretty big. We're going to go to, kind of want Temptation to be about halfway across when it's done. So about 24 points. And I'm going to space it out about the same. We're going to go a little bit further, maybe 24 by 30. And I'm going to center align this. This is going to be that same Deuterman light that we did for the text of the written by, except for where it says the word temptation. I want the word temptation to be the bold version. Now, once I have it in bold, I also want this to be this red color right here. So I could use my eyedropper and just click on that since I have it there. Or I can go into my swatches panel and click on the red that we've saved there. Good. Now I'm going to move this down a little bit, shrink this down, and I think that comes off pretty good. If I look at this, maybe this gray isn't what I want. I'm going to utilize this gray a little later anyway. Maybe I do want that to be a solid black. I think that's a little cleaner. So that's going to be our front cover right there. You can delete these swatches off the left-hand side now. You no longer need them. Now this is just a touch of what's to come. In the next lessons, we're going to talk about the spreads down here, and we're going to look at how we can make them look clean, how we can make them look like a legitimate cookbook. So in the next lesson, we're going to talk about the left page. We're going to get the left page right. In the lesson after that, we're going to talk about the right page, getting your numbered lists, getting your table set up, all of the good things. So once we get our style set up, it becomes very much a rinse, recycle, repeat to create your following spread. So that's your daily dose of design. If you found this helpful or informative at all, please like or subscribe to the channel, drop a comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next.